Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, folks? What is going down? What is up? What's happening? We hope your day has been well. Jacques, the draft has happened. The draft is here, bro. Hey, we got to talk about it, man. We got our live chop up today, y'all.
Sure. Yep. Gives you time to get in, give your opinion and everything on the draft and everything. I see you, Anthony. TSU. I think we lost Hawk. Hawk, can you hear us? We're going to keep rocking. But yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I know the draft is passed this past weekend. Hey, we do what we do. Hey, Ant, I can't take the head off, bro. I'm sorry, dog. So we're going to go through, man, see who we got in the chat, man. I know Mohammed Omar was in here first. He said, what up, guys? Welcome back, Hawk. We got Hakeem, and he, what up? T. Patton, he said, what's good? I know.
What's up, y'all? Man, you.
King Woods 89 said, what do,
fellas? What up?
What up, M-Town in the building? Yes, sir. Got Terry in the building. He said, what up, fellas? What up? Yes, hey, we appreciate it, man. It's what we try to do. Hey, we try to bring y'all this content, man.
Yes, sir. We do it. We appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Richard, what up, brother? He said, tighten up, fellas. TK in the building. What up, brother? What up?
TK in the building. Yes, sir. Yeah. What up?
Gina, and finally get notifications when y'all go live. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, well, y'all listen, man. So the draft happened, right? We got 7 new players on our football team. We're going to grade all of these guys, every single one of them, based on the player, the position, the round they were drafted, and everything. We're going to give y'all a full breakdown. And we want you all to participate as well in this draft. We want to give you an opportunity, whatever grade that you think. It's been a few days now, so you all should have done some research on these players. We want your insight on this as well, too, man. So, Jacques, this show should be fun as always, bro.
As always, yes, sir.
Absolutely. So, listen, let's get into it, y'all, about the draft. As you all know, again, over the weekend, man, looking at who the Tennessee Titans drafted in this draft, man. You see here, again, in the first round, we drafted J.C. Latham. In the second round, the Texas D tackle, T'Vondre Sweat. Fourth round, North Carolina linebacker, Cedric Gray. Corner, Jarvis Brownlee from Louisville in the fifth round. Sixth round, we got Jha'Quan Jackson from Tulane. In the seventh round, we got James Williams from Miami, who I actually picked in our mock draft. We actually drafted this guy. I had us picking this guy. If you all listen to the show, you would have known that. And in the seventh round, we have defensive end / outside linebacker, Jaylen Harrell from Michigan. All right, so that is the players that we've drafted. So, Jacques, I'm going to ask you a question, bro.
Yes, sir.
So we have to talk about this guy right here, man, J.C. Latham, the talented offensive tackle, right tackle when he played at Alabama in the 7th pick in the first round. That's the other guy that we have in the second round. But we're going to talk about J.C. Latham. This guy here is a mammoth. This joker's huge, bro. So now we've had a few days, right? A few days to kind of simmer a little bit and really kind of get a breakdown. Jacques, I know you have studied just like I have for hours on these players. Man. Let's talk about J.C. Latham, Jacques. So tell us some strengths and weaknesses that you see of J.C. Latham as far as this offensive tackle that's going to start for us. And as well at the end, man, give us your overall grade on this pick.
Absolutely. So I'm going to start with the strengths first with J.C., man. J.C. is a massive human being. That joke is 6'6", almost 340, 350 almost. Solid. I wouldn't even say sloppy. He's solid, man. Real solid. So he's very strong, very physical. He has strong hands, 18-inch hands. When he gets his hands on you, it's a wrap. Okay. When I say it's a wrap, it's a wrap. He's very strong in the run game, right? Run protection. When I seen him in the second level, man, he's just mauling people, moving people, even though he played the right side, which should be primarily playing the left side. Something I really wanted to focus on was his pass rush. And I was impressed. I was very highly impressed. I heard about J.C. Latham, watched film on him. I'll get to that in a minute. But when I seen him, I was like, wow, he's pretty solid for a big man. He moves very fluently. Like, I like him. He Not the most athletic, but he moves pretty well to be that size and that big. He has a strong base as well. His tree trunks or his legs are when he gets planted and when he gets planted in the ground, it's hard to move him. And it's in anything when he's going against those big fellas, man. It's something that I noticed too. When his hand placement is amazing. The knock on him, I'll give you some weaknesses, man. When I seen speed rush on him, he has to reset real quick, right? That's with any offensive lineman. But with him being so big, it's hard for him to reset and distribute his weight. I'm like, okay, boom. It was a couple of times I'm like, oh, he stuttered. And then he tried to reset, and you could he got beat a little bit, but he was able to recover. But that's gonna be coached up with him with his hands and his feet and his placement and his base and everything like that. Another knock, I think you've said this before too, and I noticed it too. He's so physical that you being that physical in the NFL can cost you 15, right? So they're gonna have to teach him, hey, it's okay to be physical, but let up when it's time to let up. So my overall grade for it, man, I said on it, I thought about it. I give it an A, man. I actually give it an A. And then new news came out today. Little things are coming out as the draft is over that I heard that the Giants, I believe, wanted to draft him. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did. Absolutely.
Yep, they were in play to draft him. And I want to say it wasn't. I thought the Chargers had a play in it as well, but that tells me that he was going to go high regardless. So that's my breakdown and my grade on. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper, Jacques. For those that have noticed as well, man, as far as the draft, man, we've talked, man, for months about drafting an offensive tackle at this spot, right? And yes, we talked about Joe Alt for sure, right? You know, looking at the teams above us as far as in the draft, we felt that most of the teams did not need offensive tackle. There are Charger fans that are really not even happy with the Joe Alt pick. I don't know if y'all have seen that, right? They wanted a receiver because they have two tackles. Rashawn Slater just signed. He's their left tackle. So I guess they're going to put Alt on the right tackle. That's their problem. So for us, we still were able to draft an offensive lineman, and that guy is J.C. Latham. So let me tell you about J.C. Latham, man. I've been, as the days have gone on, man, I've been actually more happy of us drafting this guy, man. This guy is huge, okay? He's a huge human being. He was actually the biggest offensive tackle in the draft. You look at a guy that's 6'6", and, man, he's got 11-inch hands. Do you all know how big of that? Pretty much your whole hand is covering this camera right here, literally, from back here, right? Like you're like, hey, your whole hand is doing this, right? That's how big his hands are, right? That's huge. And then when you see him blocking, he uses his hands perfectly. Literally, like on one-on-ones, especially bull rush and things like that, JC just knocks him down. Just literally, like it's like you really just can't get around him. I think the strength of his blocking is his seal block. When it comes to run blocking, I think JC Latham is the best tackle in the draft. He has a great base, as Jacques mentioned earlier. He's not goofy. He's not a big goof. This guy is he's athletic enough to have a base. He's very, very strong. And a lot of the tape that I've seen, man, he don't lose balance, man. He doesn't lose balance. This guy's played in some top competition. He went to IMG Academy. For those that don't know, that's like the top prospects in the country. Started there. And he was the top-rated offensive lineman in his class, okay? 4-year start at Alabama. He's been out there. Like, this guy has played. And the only reason he didn't play left tackle early in his career because they had Evan Neal, who's in the NFL, right? So they kept him in right tackle. This guy even ran a 4.85 at this size. This is just crazy. So as well, when I see him blocking, he has great depth. It's unbelievable. He covers a lot of space, dude. And I see DNs try to go around him. They're just like, man, he's still right there. Even in spin moves, he's still right there with his base. So I think that's the biggest strength that I've seen. Even as of today, I'm like, man, he has great blocking depth. I think the challenges he's going to have is because he is very aggressive. When you see the tape, he is grabby. He will grab you. And if you frustrate him, he gets to grab it even more. And so he has to be careful with that. At Alabama, he had a tendency to get some holding penalties. Even when they played against Middle Tennessee State, I went to the game in Tuscaloosa this year when they played my alma mater. He had 2 penalties in that game. I was like, dang, 65 is a big guy, but he's getting penalties out there. So he has to be careful on that. Another thing I see too, man, at times, even in pass blocking, he's a really good pass blocker, better run blocker. Sometimes in pass blocking, he lunges forward. He lunges. And what happens if you're going against a shorter, speedier guy? Hey, you can put some moves on him, right? And he could lose balance. So he has to be learned that. But, man, I really – looking at this pick, man, dude, I think it's a great pick, man. I'm giving this a grade of an A. Shout out to the Titans, man, and trying to change the narrative of this team. Welcome, J.C. Latham. You said, hey, you here? Welcome to you, bro. The TK, the Trench King is here.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Yes,
We got anybody got some grades out there?
Yeah, throw y'all grades in the chat, man. Most definitely. We'll see what we got. Hey, Lion King, that was Hawk who called that one this year. I called the one last year. Hawk got this one this year. So
that's right.
Shout out to Hawk for that. It's funny, man. I'm telling you, we either hitting one or the two.
That's right, man. That's right. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What's up, Fred?
He said,
what
hey,
up?
You Big Blue. There you go, Big Blue, baby.
Yes,
hey,
yep.
What's up, boys? Tighten up.
What's up?
Throw them grades in the chat, man. Throw them grades in the chat.
Hey, okay.
What up, Titan?
Yes, sir. Throw them grades out there.
Yeah, while they doing that, Hawk, we'll move on to the next one. This will come in. Yeah, M-Town said it's an A until we say this. I agree. We agree.
And I've seen most shock. I've seen most, ESPN, USA Today, Bleacher Report. I've seen B here for him.
Yeah.
B minus, B and B minus.
Ian gives it a B plus.
Yep.
Which is fair, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
All right. We'll move on. So with the second pick, man, I think this was the most controversial pick, one of the controversial picks in the draft, in the overall draft.
Yes.
And with the Titans themselves. And that was with T'Vondre Sweat. Hawk, man, give us his strengths and his weaknesses, man. And then after that, give us a grade on him as well.
Thank you, Jacques. Absolutely, sir. T'Vondre Sweat. Y'all see this guy right here, man? Now, that's him next to another defensive tackle. Doesn't that guy look like a receiver, man, next to this guy? Right? T'Vondre Sweat said, Nashville, I'm coming home. That's exactly what he said, right? So, did you all know T'Vondre Sweat has a brother that's in the NFL? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know Josh Sweat, the defensive end, 94, that used to play for the Eagles? I think he still plays for the Eagles. He got traded, but that's his brother. So he understands the NFL, okay? This isn't new to him. So let me tell you about T'Vondre Sweat, man. To your point, Jacques, I think besides Michael Penix, T'Vondre Sweat has been the one player that's been talked about the most in the entire NFL is T'Vondre Sweat because most think we've reached for him. Okay, to each his opinion. That's fine, right? That's people are subject to their own opinion. That's cool. But so let's look at the tail of the tape. You got the guy that's the Outland Trophy winner. What is the Outland Trophy, you ask? The best interior lineman, offense or defense in the nation. Not in the conference, not in the state, in the nation. He won the Outland Trophy. Guys like Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, guys like that won that, right? And there hasn't been many defensive linemen that have won it over the last 20 years. Mostly it's offensive linemen. T'Vondre Sweat won that. Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. Not a linebacker, not a corner, not a defensive end. A defensive tackle won Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. Okay? That's another thing. First team All-American. Not all conference, not all region, not all state, All-American. How much more accomplished can you get, man? How much more can you be accomplished? How? Okay? That's like Derrick Henry when he got drafted in the second round. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. And what happened? A future Hall of Famer for the King. Okay? So I look at it like this. When you see the tape, you clearly see that T'Vondre Sweat is a super athlete at his size. Okay? Shout out to Jacques sent me this tweet today about T'Vondre Sweat, practicing with his team of Texas players. And he wants to prove people wrong. He was out there running track. But when you look at this guy, look at this right here, man. This is a picture of him in the Senior Bowl. Manhandling people. Super athlete, you can't run on him. Saw the tape, you can't run on him one-on-one. When guys try to block him one-on-one, they were barbecue chicken, literally. Unreal. So blocking is going to be a problem for any offensive center or guard that tries to block him one-on-one. He's violent, he's mean, and he's physical, okay? Not only is he 367 pounds, he's 6'4". Most deep tackles at that size is about 6'6", like T.R. Tart. He was big like that, but T.R. Tart's like 6'1". He's 6'4". That is abnormally big. So not only did we draft the biggest offensive lineman, we drafted the biggest defensive lineman and two of the meanest players in the draft. So that lets you know, like, man, we're trying to be a mean, disruptive, big football team. Also, too, man, when he gets to a ball carrier and he wraps up as a tackle, it's done. You're not breaking that tackle. I don't know if a Derrick Henry stiff arm could stop that. You're on the ground, okay? So when I look at even when he's, when he's on the field, man, he's a problem. He really is, man. So I think, again, some opportunities for him could be in the passing game. The way the game is done now in the passing game, he might just be a two-down lineman unless he loses some weight, okay? When it comes to running, he's not a big sack guy, okay? He's a volume guy. He takes on blockers so other people can eat. Hey, and we got the players for that. But at times, too, I've seen him, not give as much energy when he's gassed. I mean, he's huge. He's almost 400 pounds. So, he has to work on his conditioning and put himself in a position to play all three downs, right? But I'm going to tell you something. I'm excited to have him in this round. Again, a very accomplished player. You don't win those awards for nothing, man. That just doesn't fall from the tree, bro. Not one award. He's won 3. At this point in time, man, as far as T'Vondre Sweat, man, the big D tackle from Texas, Jacques, I'm giving the Titans a B at this spot, man. I'm giving them a B here. Shout out to the Titans again, T'Vondre Sweat here, man. That's what I got. What about you, Jacques?
Man, again, where we got him, and with the situation and everything, it kind of bumped him down a little bit. But from where we got him, he's a big guy, man, real big guy. And I'm gonna go into his strengths, man. Something that I notice with him is he gets his hands up. A lot of PBs, man. If you don't know if that pass breakups, pass bat downs, they practice that. Jeffrey Simmons is real good at that. That's something that they really taught. And everyone I was watching film, I said, man, even in the past game, I said, man, like you said, he ain't getting a lot of sacks, but every time you turn around, boom, boom, like he's playing volleyball. I'm like, man, dude, that's actually very smart for you to do. If I can't get the sack, my initial thoughts is to get my hands up, right?
Yep.
Another thing is when it comes to the run game, you're not getting you think you're going to clog the middle? He got you. Like you said, once he gets his hands on you, he's not letting go. And that was very, very impressive. To pair him next to Big Jeff is going to be amazing. He's a space eater. Things that he can work on is having a consistent pass rush in the NFL, right? Right now, he's so big, he can rely on his strength. He can play bully ball, right? But in the NFL, you have to establish some type of pass rush. He has it. It's just not consistent, right? So that's the problem. He's not consistent with it, and they're going to teach him how to be consistent with it when it comes to, hey, if you're trying to get to the quarterback, you got to get some type of swim move, some type of up, something. He needs to get in there and box, right? Work his hands. And once he works his hands, then it'll click for him. But to have him and Jeffrey Simmons next to each other, for right now, the league don't even know you don't even know what you did to get him in the second round like that, right? You just don't know. My overall grade, he looked like Young Chopper, man. My overall grade is a B for this pick right here, man. So I think I know just looking at the film, just continue to look at what he has. Man, the Titans did a very good job getting that value at that pick right there. It's like you said, it's almost like the Derrick Henry. When we got Derrick Henry, we lucked up and got Derrick Henry in the second freaking round. It's the same thing with T'Vondre Sweat. And he's motivated too. That's one thing I like about him too. He is very motivated. He has heard everything that everybody has said, that's said about the situation, and I respect it. I'm like, hey man, let your work and your play do the talking and versus you doing the talking. And he's under good mentorship, man. So I get his pick a B.
Facts, no paper, Jacques. Facts, no paper, bro. And then when you look at, different, again, look at different outlets, even Bleacher Report, that's our platform as well. We work for Bleacher Report. You can see as well too, man, that they had given them an F. They've given this most draft analysts gives this pick an F, not a D, not a C, not a B, an F. Is there anybody in the comment section that agrees with that? And that's cool if you do. If you say that's an F, just give us a reason why. Even if it's a D, if you feel like this was a bad pick, let us know for sure. All right, so Jacques, so looking at the remaining rounds that we have, man, 4 through 7, right? You look at the players that we've drafted. I'm going to go back to the draft board here and look at these players. So, 1 in the 4th round, we got Cedric Gray, the talented linebacker out of North Carolina. We got Brownlee, the talented corner out of Louisville. We got Jha'Quan Jackson out of Tulane, the kickoff returner / receiver. We got James Williams here, the tackling free safety out of the University of Miami. And you got Jaylen Harrell in this last round here, man. Defensive end / outside linebacker out of the University of Michigan. So looking at rounds 4 through 7, of those picks, man, tell us a guy that you feel that would be like a sleeper, so much more the player where they were drafted like, oh, man, we got something here. I'm glad we drafted this guy here. Tell us who and why, bro. And give us a grade, by the way, too.
Okay, Cedric Gray. I'm going at that position, particular draft position and where we got him. Cedric Gray should have went in the 4th round. We got him. Well, did we get him in the 4th round?
We got him in the 4th. Yep.
Okay, yeah. He should have been a 3rd round pick from where we got him. And I think too, what probably dropped him was his 40. I mean, he ran a 4.6, but still not bad, right? This kid is accomplished, man. And when you sit back and you look at the tape, man, he's an instinctive linebacker, right? I know they knock him on his play recognition, but when I see it, I cut the tape on. I see somebody that can cover pretty well. That's something that we struggle with on our defense in the past couple of years, right? It's just covering linebackers. We have run stopping linebackers, but we need covering linebackers. And somebody that can come in day one and start. I know he can come in day one and start, and he likes to lay the wood. He's always around the football. Every time I was watching film, I said, damn, he go say it again. He's right there. Okay, he's right there. He's right there. He's just instinctive. He does have a couple of things that he needs to work on, but of course that could always be coached up. But somebody that can come in and plug and play right now with that particular position, and we needed a linebacker, I get a pick an A just for what we got him at. We got him in the 4th round. I like what we did when it came to that. So it was a great job on Rand, and you could tell they stuck to their board when it came down to it. He probably was there like, oh, shoot, he's still there. Let's get him, right? So that's for me. What about you, Hawk?
Gotcha, Jacques. So for me, man, when I look in the 7th round, I'm looking at this guy here, James Williams, man, the guy that I said that I would love for us to draft. All I ask you all to do right now, when this show's over, of course, YouTube James Williams, University of Miami. Just YouTube him. Then call me back, right? When you see that, then the next show we have, I want your comments. If you've already seen it, put those comments in the comment section. James Williams is 6'5", okay, at safety, okay? Now, when they drafted him, they didn't put safety on the card. They put LB. So they're going to put him at linebacker. To get a guy like this, he was a 5-star recruit out of the University of Miami when he was going into college out of Fort Lauderdale. This guy was multi-talented, highly ranked, started even some games as a freshman. This guy is a hitter, okay? To get this guy in the 7th round, you know, he'll probably make the team, will definitely be on special teams, will definitely be an impact. And you never know. They might throw him in the defense because of the way he plays. He plays reckless. He literally goes out there to try to hit anything moving. James Williams, this guy here, is a problem, okay? We'll get more into, strengths and weaknesses and things, but I'm going to tell you, man, this is my sleeper pick between 4 through 7 is James Williams. Have you ever seen a 6'5" safety? Jacques even told me, he was like, man, Hulk, hey, man, we were talking safety talk, and I was real big on the especially Bullard, Javon Bullard from Georgia. Jacques was like, man, I like Cam Kitchens. And then they got this one guy, he's 6'5" out there. So, okay, 6'5" safety? So I cut on the tape, I said, oh, boy. Ooh, we need to draft this guy. And I start looking at some of his 40 times, like he might be a late round pick, but I like him, and I stuck to that, man. So James Williams is my shocker, man, between 4 and 7, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he at Cam Chancellor. I'm just saying. Yep. I ain't saying gonna be Cam Chancellor, but yeah. Let's see what we got here. Zach says, "What up, Zach? See, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. A lot of potential in him too. People saying he was drafted too early. I think if he pans out, he was picked too late. Exactly. We got day 4, 1 starters running it. Yep, he did a hell of a job, man. And Danny, we didn't. It was if you're talking about days, day 3. But if you're talking about rounds, it was round 4. Like, we didn't have a day 3 pick. James Williams, yep, he's going to be you. Yeah, you can play him in that hybrid. To me, he's a hybrid. Like, you can bump him down if you need to. David Lee says, I think Jha'Quan Jackson going to make plays on special teams and gadget plays from the U with Ed Reed's number. Yep. Oh, he do have Ed Reed.
Ed Reed's number, dog. And he purposely changed his number. He was number 0 and changed to 20. He did that on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, snap. No, that's cool. So, with that being said, Hawk, can you give us your overall grade for the 2024 NFL draft for the Tennessee Titans, and why do you give it that particular grade?
Yes, sir, Jacques. Yes, sir. So, Jacques, man, when we did our mock draft, you see guys that we had here. This was the draft that I had for us. As a mock draft, I had Joe Alt, Brian Thomas, offensive lineman, but we did draft that in the first round. But this is the mock draft that I had. As you all can see, I had James Williams there.
You sharing your screen, Hawk?
Right? And
we can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen? You can't
see
the...
we can't see. No.
Oh, it's not showing the picture?
Yeah, there it goes right there. It wasn't showing it first.
Okay, cool. All right. So the first round was where I showed Joe Alt here in the first round. We drafted an offensive tackle, and then, looking at it down here as well, we ended up getting some of the players. We didn't get a center or a tight end, but we was able to get a linebacker, D tackle, and those things. And again, I did have us drafting James Williams. Jacques as well had a first round pick of Joe Alt as an offensive tackle. He had other players on here as far as safety, defensive end, linebacker, those things of that nature. So we were able to fill a lot of the roles that we thought we would. Now, looking at the actual draft, Jacques, looking at this is what we did, okay? Latham, Sweat, Gray, 3 starters. Brownlee, possibly a nickel. Jha'Quan Jackson, kickoff returner. James Williams, special teamer, possibly could fill in some spots on defense. Jaylen Harrell, a pass rushing specialist. All these guys can make the team, in my opinion. They all can. I think they can all sort of fill a role per se. So when I look at the grade here, man, at this spot, man, in our draft, dude, and I want you all to, put your grade out there too as far as the overall grade and why. I'm giving this a class draft of B overall, a strong B in this draft class. What I like the fact that if I could put, and I'm going to say this for a while, Jacques, I'm going to give this draft class a name. It's going to be called Big Dogs. I say that because you got the biggest offensive tackle in the draft. You got the biggest defensive lineman in the draft, the biggest player in the draft. You got the biggest safety in the draft, right? You got guys that are big. Just pause, right? And then you also have to look at, dogs, right? All of these players are dogs. Latham, dog. Sweat, dog. Cedric Gray, tackles anything around him, dog. Brownlee, aggressive, dog. James Williams, a pure dog. These are dogs. We haven't had drafts like this in a while. I think lately we've had drafts of a lot of softies, bro. The last 2 years we've been soft, okay? A few players can come to mind as far as playing big dog roles. These guys are tough. I'm giving it a B. I think these guys can all make the team and play some type of pivotal role. That's where I'm at, Jacques. What about you, bro?
So most of these guys went to the Senior Bowl, and I know people gave Rand Carthon a lot of flack for not going to the Senior Bowl. Well, he went to the Senior Bowl. He had eyes at the Senior Bowl. He trusts his staff, and he did a very good job because that's some of the top talent, and that's the talent that you want to compare it to. When I look at this particular draft, not only I'm gonna call them big dogs, I'm gonna call them physical big dogs, right? Because every last player on this particular draft board is physical. They have some type of physicality to them in their specialty, in their particular position. And when you look at the tape, it's very prevalent of like, okay, he's aggressive, he's physical. They love football as well. So you can definitely tell that this draft, you can tell was really, really thought out, and they stuck to their board to where you knew they wasn't going to kind of get up, because I heard they had options to trade out of a lot of these positions as well, right? So again, when I look at this draft, man, you can tell there's guys that's coming in that's really hungry, and they get to compete with each other in training camp and practice. I'm interested to see J.C. Latham going against Big Jeff and Trevondre Sweat. That's going to be a hell of a thing. Brownlee, he gets to compete against two of the best receivers in the NFL in Calvin Ridley and D Hop. So that's a lot of experience that he's going to get. Cedric Gray gets to get in there and get his hands dirty, right? When I'm looking at this draft class, they're going to mature very fast because you have people on this team that's going to make them mature very fast, right? So when I look at this, I give this grade a B as well. Just off the fact that, again, we've addressed some needs. I still think we needed a tight end, but that to each his own, right? We'll definitely try to address that in free agency or however we do it. We might find a diamond in the rough. I don't know. But each place almost was addressed. Special teams. We need to kick off the punt return, especially with the rules changing. So you need somebody that can go out there and do what they do when it comes to punt and kick return. Also, when it comes to an extra pass rusher and Harrell, I mean, when you cut his film on, he's a disruptor. He sets the tone. You can tell he's a tone setter, and he'll be that tone setter. Brownleaf, man, is very intriguing because you can never have too many corners. And now you have a total of 4 corners, 4 capable starting corners in this draft. And I'm like, wow, we haven't had this really ever. So that's my thought on it, man. I give it a good B. Rand Carthon did a great job, and technically, as he would say, these are his own words, his first draft, which technically it is his first full draft where he got to control the narrative, control the situation, collaborate, and everything like that. So that's for me.
Cool, man. Cool. Okay, so we got a lot of folks out there that's giving the Titans a B as far as the draft. I do see, we do have, a lot of you all, showing your grade, and that's great, man. So I think you all are aligned with as far as what we're saying as well too. We're not unrealistic, like there's opportunities and things like that. So I'm gonna add a question to that, Jacques.
Mm-hmm.
Should the Titans have made a trade? And I want you all to put that in the comment section as well, and we'll pop it up on the screen. And if you have a super chat, we're going to address that question, whatever you ask. Should the Titans have made a trade during the draft?
Now, I said on this question, at first I initially said, yeah. But just seeing what we have, I would have made a trade later in the draft to try to pick up another pick and then try to get a tight end or something. But I would have said, yeah, to try to get more picks. But I understand why they didn't. I get it. I mean, they stuck to their board and they did a damn good job, man. So, yeah, I think they should have at least explore the trade. I know I heard they were on the phone, but if it's laughable, I'm not finna do it. I'm not just finna take any trade. And I think that's their thought process. Like, if it's a laughable trade, why the hell would I take it? And why would I? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. What about you, Hawk?
So, I do think the Titans should have made a trade. As to why I didn't give it an A. Not having a 3rd round pick seemed as if we didn't have another pick for 2 weeks after we picked T'Vondre Sweat. I literally left, man. Almost went out of town, man. Tied my shoes, drunk some water, ate some crackers and some cheese, and came back home. We still hadn't drafted yet, right? So that 3rd round pick, I like that we got Cedric Gray in the 4th round. But, man, there were some safeties out there that we could have drafted. There were some tight ends that we could have drafted to fill in that 3rd spot. Even if we had drafted down just a little bit on the 2nd round, maybe 2 or 3 picks down, T'Vondre Sweat might have been available. Now, that's a might. Not saying it's a guarantee, right? But that really would have worked in our favor if we were able to get the player that we wanted and still had an extra pick in the 3rd round, and you got to keep your 4th round pick, who eventually probably would have been the linebacker Cedric Gray. That probably would have still been there, right? But I would have liked to see us make a trade. Now, I'm sure, absolutely, because even Rand spoke on that today. He was like, yeah, we did, look at some things, looking at safeties and on those things or whatever. So he's like, absolutely. We were on the phone talking and things like that. It just because you're talking and things getting done doesn't mean a trade's going to just automatically happen. Things have to work out for both teams, and it didn't, and that's okay. But I would have liked to do that or seen that. But I really like the players that we did receive and the spots that they were at. The Cedric Gray in the 4th round, that's an amazing pick at that spot. I still think the Sweat pick in the 2nd round was where he's supposed to be, and we got him. So that's what I think there as far as the trade.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm like you. When I sent on it again, man, stick to your board. If you trust your board, trust it, man. So, yep.
Man, gotcha. All right. So we appreciate everybody's comments. We got some that said yes, some said hell to the no. We good. And that's good, man. So listen, we're going to do our live chop up. We're going to do a mini live chop up, then the full live chop up. We're going to do an early chop up, and we're going to go over the draft picks 4 through 7. And we want your opinion on these players as well. We're going to go through these players, man, and let you know as far as what we think, as far as their strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to grade them. We're going to go through these pretty quickly. You all put the comments in the comment section, and we'll go from there, man. So, Jacques,
Yes, sir.
Looking at our players, man, looking in the 4th round, we got the talented linebacker, Cedric Gray, University of North Carolina. So, Jacques, give us a quick breakdown of him, man, and give us his strengths, weaknesses, and what grade you'd give him.
Man, so Cedric Gray, man, what he's about, I think he runs about 6'2", 234. And he's one of those linebackers, man, that's very instinctive. His stats, man, were amazing. I don't know if you have his stats up, but I think the Joker had like 121 tackles, I believe. Man, it was 121 tackles, two forced fumbles, 5 sacks, 1 interception. He was all over the board, man. Every time I watched tape on this, he was around the football. And I'm like, man, I said, he's very active. And my keyword is active. And when I say active, he is very active. He rushes the passer very well too. I wonder if he was a safety at one point in time and they converted him to linebacker, because that's what he looks like. He looks like a safety. He looks like a safety that converted to linebacker. And you could tell he's strictly middle, man. Strictly middle. He's sideline to sideline. They give him a knock on his play recognition, but man, I see an instinctive linebacker, and I give this, like I said earlier, I give it an A, man. I give this pick an A. Weaknesses, of course, you got some things to work on when it comes to play recognition. Some things it took developed a little bit slow, but I mean, still, it wasn't a glaring weakness. And again, he probably was picked late because of his 40. But that's for me. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper, man. Cedric Gray, I was telling my boys, I'm going to call him MFCG, man, because on the field, he was everywhere, bro. He was everywhere. All the film that I saw his junior and senior year, 3 years started North Carolina. Looking at his junior year, he had 144 tackles his junior year, man. And he had 3 forced fumbles and 2 interceptions. And last year, his senior year, he had 121 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. So you're looking at a guy that has 260 plus tackles in 2 years, man. That's what? In college? That's crazy. Those are NFL numbers. Those are 17 games in a season numbers. And he did that in 10 to 12 games. Cedric Gray is not only a tackler, he's a green dot guy, as they say. And I know Amani Hooker wants to take the green dot over defense, but Cedric Gray is that type of a guy on defense. This guy's 6'2", 244. He's quick. Overall, he's very experienced. He's really good in coverage, in particular zone coverage. He's a very good tackler. He doesn't when he's around, man, like he will make the tackle. He's active, like you said, Jacques. He's active, very active. And when you look at Jack Gibbons and the linebackers that we have here, he's gonna come in and compete, man. He's gonna compete against those guys. And in Cedric Gray, I think will have an edge in that regard as far as middle linebacker. Him and Kenneth Murray and those things. You got 2 fast guys that are, athletes out there. I think, Cedric Gray, what he can work on at times, he over pursues because he is so aggressive. Sometimes you can pump fake and he's going for the take. He literally zeroes in on the running back or going to try to make a tackle on whoever has the football. And at times I've seen a few times where a quarterback will sort of pump fake or be some type of play action. He's looking up the field instead of looking behind the field. If he recognizes that, he covers very well. So that's not the problem. It's more read recognition that he has to improve on in the NFL. And at times he can miss tackles. I've seen him miss some tackles too. And again, he's over pursuing in those things. But I'm going to tell you, man, in this spot, bro, for Cedric Gray, bro, I'm absolutely giving him a grade of an A in this spot, man. The 4th round, you just got your starting linebacker for the next 5 to 8 years, man. Shout out for Rand. I'm getting Cedric Gray a grade A in this spot. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Let's see. Blaze said an A. He's safety that covered to he is a safety. Okay, that's what I thought. Just looking at him, man, he looks like he can be a safety. I'm just looking at him like, man, he's like he was once a safety. On David Long, but I'm stoked for Gray. Yeah.
We're
gonna talk about him in a minute.
Yep. So
all right.
Cool. All right. So Jacques, I'm gonna start with this guy here. Our next round pick, that's the corner, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. All right. Jarvis Brownlee, the corner from Louisville, Miami, born and raised, Carroll City, as they say. This guy here, Jarvis Brownlee, this guy is extremely aggressive. And you're going to hear us say that about all these guys, man. And we're not making this up. All you got to do is watch the tape. This guy's aggressive. What helped Brownlee was the Senior Bowl. He did really good in the Senior Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And he impressed several scouts in that regard in the Senior Bowl. This guy's not only aggressive, he's very physical. He is not afraid to come up to make tackles. He's very good in press coverage, man press. He's very good at that, actually. Anywhere between 5 yards, he's going to do his best to jam, man. And a lot of times he wins that. And not only does he make tackles, he hits hard as well, too. Like, this guy he's aggressive. And I've seen him as well, too, man. Like, he closes quickly, especially when there's a run play and those things. He recognizes it and he closes it. Kind of reminds me of Malcolm Butler, very similar in their play. I think some of the things he could work on, again, he transferred from Florida State. He played there for 2 years. Even his junior year at Louisville, he did give up some touchdowns. He gave up some yards. Matter of fact, they showed some plays in the draft and them going against Louisville, and the receiver that got drafted scored on Brownlee. I was like, that's on Brownlee, right? At times he's too aggressive. He's not really fast. So I think at times he has struggled with recovery speed. So if he jams you, you're done. But if you beat him, you got him. So he's going to have to do better with that in that regard. I wasn't really high on this pick because I wanted to have a corner a bit earlier in the draft. And I'm not saying he can't do well because if he does great, I'll be the first one to buy his jersey. But at this spot in the 5th round, I would have to give this a C-, man, for Jarvis Brownlee for me, man. I want him to do well, of course. But, hey, man, it's a fair grade in my – for what I saw, and that's what I see on him. So Jacques, talk to me, man. What you think?
So reason why I'm a little bit high on this pick, he doesn't have to come in and be a hero right on day one. You still got Awuzie and you got Snead and you got Roger McCreary. That's the lucky thing that he has that's going for him. Everything that you said, Hawk, is what I saw. Like you said, his biggest weakness is when you're playing DB, when you're playing corner specifically, it's a balance. It's some of the greatest corners have balance. Revis Island, Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, they had a balance, right? And what I mean by balance is you can play press and you can play zone, but it has to be an even kill. So you got some that are on the extreme and you got some that are on the other extreme, right? Like you said, Malcolm Butler was so aggressive that he played his strength was man. But if you had him, you had him. And if you were too close, boom, you got him. And trying to mirror and watch how positioning feet. And if you're watching their legs, they got you, right? When you're playing corner, you're supposed to watch this from here to here, right? That's what saves the best corners, man. When you get to looking at them legs, it's a wrap for you. So a couple of things that I did see was when he got beat, he got beat. But the thing was, he's so physical that if he's going against a smaller receiver, he has a chance. Bigger receivers, I think he'll be more successful against because he's 5'11" himself. But when them small, shifty receivers, that's where he'll struggle at. But again, he gets to learn behind Snead, Awuzie, and Roger McCreary. And he doesn't have to come in and be a day one starter. He doesn't just have to. He can be like, hey, just go learn, watch Snead. And I think he said he's eager to learn from Snead. I'm like, hey, do your thing, bro. That's what. And when I was looking at the pick, I said, oh, okay, why we get him there? But we need a safety. But then I got to thinking, I said, you know what? He ain't got to be no hero. Now, if this was about 2 years ago, we screwed. Because you got to put him out there day one so he can go out there and go against some of the best receivers in our division. We got some hell of receivers in our division. So he's going to learn against D-Hop. He's going to learn against Calvin Ridley. Don't do that too often. So I give this pick a B, man.
All right. Cool. I think a lot of folks out there agree with you, man. I think it's a lot of B's out there for Jarvis Brownlee. So good stuff, man. All right, Jacques.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have you start on this one, man. So this is our 6th round pick, wide receiver Jha'Quan Jackson, Tulane University. Talk to us, man. What you think about Jha'Quan Jackson? Those in the comment section again. Throw your grade out there. Throw us your thoughts too, man.
Tajay Spears made a call. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he did it, but he made a call. So when we first drafted this pick, I was a little salty because Malik Washington was there. And if y'all don't know who Malik Washington is, he plays for the University of Virginia. And I liked his skill set better. He was more of a gadget player. You can plug him in. He can fill that slot role. Not the fastest, but it was just something that I liked. But when I got to looking at Jha'Quan, I was like, the first thing that stood out to me was his punt return ability, and his kick return ability. I said, oh, he's pretty solid, man. He's pretty good at that. And so I said, okay, that's his specialty. Now let me see what he can do as a receiver. And I'm like, okay, he has potential as a receiver. He's going to come in and he's going to compete with Cal Phillips, because Cal Phillips better get it together this year, because if he don't, it's a wrap for him, right? Jha'Quan's going to make a name for himself on special teams first, especially with the rules changing with kickoff and punt return. You good, right? And we need a solid punt return and kick returner. We need one, a full-time one, not a part-time one, not a one that just going to go out there and throw out there, because we were throwing everybody out there last year. We need one full-time, and that can be a specialty, which eventually he can be put in the offense on certain things. I'm going to tell you another strength that I saw, his deep threat ability. Nobody really checking for him because he's not that fast, right? But certain things, I was like, okay, what does Will Levis like to do? Will Levis likes to throw deep. His first read is deep. That is his first read if I ain't seen it. If they can coach this young man up, and if he can learn and get him some gadget plays where he can go deep, you potentially have a deep threat. But I'm just saying that's later on down the line. That's not right now. But your focus, my friend, is kick return and punt return. So I'm going to give this grade a C+, just because of, I feel like I still don't think we got a complete receiver, and that's what they say about Traylon. That tells me that they believe in Traylon. So that's fair, right? That is fair. I said, okay, cool. So for me, it's a C+. What about you, Hawk?
All right, Jacques. All right. We got several comments out there, man. We got a lot of B's out there. We got a few C's out there for Jha'Quan Jackson, the receiver out of Tulane. So here's my thoughts on Jha'Quan Jackson. Yeah, Tajay Spears like, yeah, hey, this is my room dog. Hey, I know about him. Hey, one thing in life, man, it's not about what you know, it's what? Who you know, right? It's who you know, right? Networking is so important. And don't think that don't happen in the league, because it does. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Jha'Quan Jackson, what I see, man, is he's very shifty, okay? Mm-hmm. When he catches the ball, he automatically is looking upfield and looking to make moves to get up the field. I think that's a really good strength of his. And yes, he did run a 4.42 in the 40. That's good, very good speed. What I was shocked to see is that he has deceptive top end speed. So when he's running post routes, and the quarterback, it got drafted. I was like, whoa, like he conference player of the year. He was throwing the ball to him, and I was like, okay. And when he was going down the field, he just kept running. I said, okay, his speed seemed to accelerate the more he was running. So I was shocked to see his top end speed was much more than I thought. It's very, very deceptive. But I'd say at the end of the day, man, and he's a little bit strong to be small too. He bench pressed 225 12 times. He got some strength out there. But his specialty is kickoff returner and punt returner. That's his specialty. Better kickoff returner than punt returner, in my opinion, on some of the things that I saw. He had 22 yards an average on his kickoff return. His punt return was at 22 yards, so it's kind of weird. It was 22 and 22. He had, I think, only one touchdown as a punt returner, but this guy's a return specialist. That's why he's here. Now, somebody said about gadget plays and those things, I would think he would have to work his way up there because, if I look at some of the things he could work on, he was not a big play guy on offense. In his entire career, 3 years, and he had 8 touchdowns in 3 years. Didn't have a lot of yards either, you know what I'm saying, nor a lot of catches. And some of the tape, he wasn't even on the field, and I think some games he didn't even start. So, this guy, it would be a shock if he starts to get some play at receiver. It'd be great because we need that slot speed receiver. That'd be great if he could overcome that. But I really think this is a special teams guy, at least starting out. As time goes on, we'll see. We might see some tape like, oh, man, he needs to start at slot, right? But I'm just saying as of today, that's where he's at. So at this spot in this round, to your point, Jacques, there were other receivers that we could have drafted, in my opinion, right? Again, this is a specialty piece. I understand that. But I'm giving this a C+ as well, man. I gave the previous one a C. I'm giving this one a C+ for Jha'Quan Jackson at this spot.
Got it. Yep. Like says, Cal Phillips too small for the NFL, Jackson. And I think that put Cal on notice. Better get it together, bro. You got to find a spot on here. And I know Callahan says he's looking for a slot guy, but we'll see. Khalif Raymond, man, still in the league, which Khalif has been balling. Yeah. Healthy. Yep. And Kersey Jackson is the caveat to this whole thing because he's coming off an injury, but he was pretty solid before he got hurt. Yeah. And that's the problem with Kyle Phillips. He stays hurt. If he can't stay healthy, if he gets hurt again in this offseason, that's real crucial because you got these rookies and these young players are creeping up on you, dog.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. All right. So I'm going to start off the next one, Jacques. 7th round pick, James Williams, my boy.
Sure.
Let me tell you guys about this guy here, man. This guy here is a hard hitter. And that is not an over-exaggeration. I know a lot of people say blah, 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 blah. I would tell you he's probably the top 3 hardest hitters in this draft. That's what he does. And he had shoulder surgery as a result of this. That's how much he hits players, right? He's 6'5" at safety, going to play linebacker. He's already gained 15 pounds. He's already done that over the last few months. He wants to get bigger. And you add 6'5" to that frame and that mentality, he literally zeroes in on players. Again, just look at the YouTube on him, bro. You're going to be like, whoa. And if you all have done it already, if you've done that, put that in the comment section. James Williams is a Killer, pure. And what I like is that it's not just that. He had 162 career tackles, man. Last year alone, he had 73 tackles at free safety, okay? So you got a guy that is going to play special teams. There's got a guy that, if he can learn to play linebacker, could get some playing time at linebacker. I really like this pick, man. Again, I've been looking at the film on him for a while, and I was like, man, I would love to have a guy like him. And you could tell when he got drafted, man, he was on the phone crying, like he was really happy to be here. Again, a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, very accomplished. He will knock your head off, and I'm not exaggerating. Definitely a top 3 hitter in this draft. If I look at some of the things he could work on, he didn't have a lot of interceptions in his career. I think he only had like 4 interceptions. His 40 time wasn't the fastest, and I don't really think it's the 40 that is the impact here, because if you're a linebacker running almost a 4.6, that's pretty good. But there's other measurables. He didn't have he had the smallest vertical in his position in safety, like by far. They say like a 30-inch vertical. I don't know if he had an ankle injury or something, and then he's had his share of injuries. Shoulder injury, and I think he had a knee injury. So the shoulder he had to have surgery on. So I think those are the things that knocked him down in the draft. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad that we got this guy, man. Check the tape. Call me back is all I'm going to tell you. So at this spot, man, I'm giving this a B. Giving this a B, man. This is a strong pick up here. I like this pick. What about you, Jacques?
Again, when I was looking at Cam Kitchen's tape, man, he stood out. I was like, man, this Joker tall. And when I look at him, like you said, the knock on him is when he jumps. His vertical is not there. Because if he would like really stick to his potential when it comes to vertical, man, he would be snagging everything out the air. But again, when he was hitting, I said that's the first thing I noticed. I said he can tackle. They're going to move him to linebacker because he can tackle. I'm like, that's his thing. He's a tackling machine. And like you said, he's going to come up and knock you in the mouth. He's going to play that hybrid style, especially he's so versatile. You can switch him. You can bring him down in the box and be like, all right, cool, do your thing. Or I can bump you back if I need you back, right? He's not the fastest. That's a big another knock on him, but he's so long. He's very long. I forgot his wingspan. The Joker got long arms. So I think if he can get in there and his versatility is going to help him. Like you said, if he gets in there and learn the linebacker position itself, he's going to be straight. And again, he already knows the safety position. He just needs to be coached up. And you got the defensive coordinator was a DB coach anyway. So he's going to show him different techniques and how to do things. So for that position, for that particular time that we got him, he was still around, I give the pick a B.
Sounds good, Jacques. Sounds good, bro. Sounds good. Okay. We got some few grades out there. Chef May said A+++. And Zach, hey, watch the tape. Call me back. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Call me back, bro, when you see the tape, man. We got a B on here as well, too. So yeah, so you all think the same. So Jacques, man, our final pick, man. I'm gonna pass the microphone to you on this one, bro. So
yes, sir. We
got the talented outside linebacker / defensive end, Jaylen Harrell. His dad played in the league too, man, by the way. Jaylen Harrell. Talk to us, man. What do you think about Jaylen Harrell, bro?
Man, we got lucky. Let me say that. When I look at the film, he's another guy that's always around the football. His specialty is rushing the passer. That is his specialty. well, every time I'm turning around, I'm like, damn, what's his pressure rate? Because every time you turn around, the Joker's getting pressure. Like every time you turn around, he's back there. He's back there. He's back there. I'm like, man, I said, how the hell he fall so far? I couldn't understand. He at least should have been in the 5th or even the 4th round pick. That's how much pressure he put. Harbaugh said he was a tone setter, and I see why. Every time I'm watching a film, he set the tone for the defense. I'm like, man, this Joker is setting the tone for the freaking defense. We got a steal here when it comes to another pass rusher. And I think they have him listed as an outside linebacker. I think he's an outside linebacker. So I'm guessing they're going to want him to drop back in coverage. I think that's not his strong suit, is dropping back in coverage. But when he learns from Harold Landry, Arden Key, Rashad Weaver, they're going to teach him, hey, you're tall, you're long. We'll show you, right? He has good mentorship when it comes to that. So I'm actually giving this pick an A. At the position that we got him, at the time that we got him in the 7th round, man, hey, it's a hell of a pickup, man. What about you?
Facts, no paper, man. I was talking to my son about this as well, too. Chef, man, what's happening? He says, I'm a Michigan fan, so he's seen the tape of this guy. He's seen this guy. Jaylen Harrell, what's interesting in my opinion, man, is, again, he plays for the national champion Michigan Wolverines, okay? Did y'all see how good Michigan's defense was out there? Do y'all see how many players were drafted from the University of Michigan? 13 players. 13. Jacques said, hey, man, they whole team might get drafted. Yeah, about. This guy led them in sacks, man. He had 6.5 sacks last year. I know that doesn't sound like a big number, man, but hey, you lead the team, you lead a national championship team, an elite defense in sacks. That say something. He actually had 7.5 tackles for losses this year. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like, dang, his dad was a defensive end, James Harrell. Like, that's what he do. So he had 9 tackles for losses this year, and last year he had 7.5 tackles for losses, right? I think that's very impressive. He's a pass rusher. When you see him on film, that's his specialty. He sees ball, get ball, pause. That's what he does. So this guy that's what he does, man. He's a pure pass rusher. I think the opportunity he can work on, man, he's got to get out of that mindset on every play, unless that's just what they put him in. Hey, but it's 3rd down and 5. That's all you playing, right? But if he's an every down defensive end or outside linebacker, he's going to have to do better in pass coverage. He's not terrible in stopping the run, but it's not a strength of his. He literally, right now, I don't want to say he's a one-trick pony and just be the run on him, but that's because that's not the case. But he has to improve in other facets of his game. Given where we drafted him in the 7th round, there's only like 8 or 9 more picks left before the draft is over. I'm giving this an A+, man. I'm giving this an A+. He is a developmental player. He's got the size. He has the ability. Can he be coached right and get him to where he wants to be? As you mentioned, Coach Harbaugh says he's a tone setter. That says a lot to me, man. That says a lot, dude. So welcome, Jaylen Harrell. I'm giving him A+ in this spot, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Let me see. We got Chef gives it a C. David gives it an A. Cordero gives it an A-. Again, from what I've seen from the position of where we drafted him, and they get an A, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah, for sure. So cool, y'all. Well, hey, listen, we're going to get into our favorite part of the show, man. And, we appreciate everybody, tuning in on the show as well. And if you have not checked us out, check us out on Bleacher Report. Folks have asked for the link. The link is in the description as well, too, man, on our page here on YouTube. Follow us both. Download the app. We do 4 or 5 shows a month on that. Check us out. As well as, too, we're everywhere, man, on YouTube. If you hadn't hit that follow button on us, man, or that subscribe button and hit the like button, do that right now. If you haven't, shame on you. Do that right now. All right.
Yes,
so, Jacques, we get into our favorite part of the show, bro, and it is the live chop up. All right. So we're going to give you all an opportunity to sit at the dinner table, man, to chop up the ingredients, man. Get as many questions as you can, man. We're going to fire them off or whatever, and we're going to go from there, man. Let's see what we got, bro.
Yes, sir. Let's see.
And if you hit a super chat, that's going to supersede it all.
All right. Zach says, how do you rank the Titans draft compared to the other AFC team? Oh, the way you can pull up the comparison. I know they have a comparison out there. Or we can rank them. I mean, what you think?
Okay. So good question, Zach. And I've done some research on here. You know who I think had the best draft in the AFC South? The Colts. the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, they drafted my boy Donnie Mitchell, Nashville, Tennessee, and everything. Looking at the Colts from what I can remember when I looked at the draft, I can go back and look and see they drafted the defensive end from UCLA, Lutu, you know what I'm saying, in the first round. Now again, I know he's had neck issues. He had retired for a short period of time, but he was the best pass rusher in this draft, and you got him in the first round, and you got a Donnie Mitchell in the second. That right there, that's right off the hand right there. That's great picking up right there. Number 2, I'm going to say the Titans. 3, and I think it's a close 3, I'm going to say the Houston Texans. Based on the picks that they received, Houston got a lot of good defensive players, and I think last is Jacksonville. They got Brian Thomas, a receiver that I wanted us to pick in the first round, but from what I remember, that's really it. What about you, Jacques, from what you've seen?
I actually, I'm not just saying this, but I rank them the same. Like what the Colts did. The Titans came in second because of, they got the pass rusher, but now we got the left tackle to block that pass rusher. We just got to get everybody else on the line to get it going. The Texans, of course, they continue to build. And I like what the Jaguars did. And again, I feel like the whole AFC South had a pretty solid draft. But again, the division is growing, but that's my ranking also, bro. Like I look at it, I'm like, damn, Colts did have a solid. The Colts are building, like they're building quietly and smartly, if that makes sense. And I think they drafted a receiver too. I want to say, I forgot which round, but they drafted a receiver too.
Yep.
So I like what they did there. So
the Colts from Oregon State, Anthony
yes.
Gold.
Yes. Yep. So they add downs him,
and they drafted Jalen Simpson from Auburn too.
Yeah, they did. So the AFC South is not going to be that small division anymore. It's actually starting to creep up to being one of the best divisions. So it's going to be interesting, man. Definitely most interesting. All right,
absolutely.
Let's get it in. Chef says top 3 free agents y'all would like us to sign. For me, Justin Simmons. And Andreas Pete and Steven Nelson. Peter. All right. So my top free agent, because we need a safety, would be Justin Simmons. I believe we need to get a safety as soon as possible. I don't know what you need to do. You need to finagle some money, move some money around, but he is my number 1 priority, because if you add him to this defense, you elevate the secondary even more. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah. That is facts, bro. Justin Simmons, he is the best free agent that's available. It's Justin Simmons in the entire NFL, in my opinion. It's Justin Simmons. This guy is a playmaker at safety. Sacks, interceptions, Justin Simmons for sure, if you can make it happen. There's a few other guys that are still left. There's some offensive linemen that are still left. There's one guy, Connor Williams is still out there. He's an offensive tackle. He's pretty good. You got some corners out there too. I don't know if we want to, you got Gilmore, you got Xavier Howard, you got guys that are still out there or whatever. But I'll be honest, I don't really feel there's a lot of good free agents left except for safeties. Has he mentioned Steven Nelson is out there? Because I'm like, okay, if we get a safety, cool. I want to get a free agent tight end too, man. And I ain't seen it. Unless you all can think of somebody that we could pick up as a tight end, I don't see it. And let me tell you who's a top 10 free agent right now. If you ask me, it's Ryan Tannehill. There's teams that need quarterbacks, bro. It is. So he probably get picked up pretty soon as a backup quarterback somewhere. But that's me, man.
Okay. And I know Chef says Zay Jones.
Tyler Boyd is still out there too.
Yeah, he is a free agent.
He did get cut. He did.
Yeah.
Who, Tyler Boyd? Yeah, Tyler Boyd's a free agent. Yes, he's a free agent. But yeah, I saw that about Zay Jones. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So I believe the Texans are going to be old real quick. That age factor is going to catch up with them before the season is over with. I think on defense, yeah, for sure. Offense, they still got a young nucleus, man, that I still think Texas, as much as we want to hate on them, man, they're going to be a problem, dog. It just is what it is, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, that's just the problem. They're going to be a problem. Like you can't
Yeah.
be in denial about it. That's why. And again, I look at the Titans as drafting for not just the AFC South, but the AFC period, right? So I like what they did, but yeah, I get you, but hey, they doing their thing, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you this real quick, Jacques, as I think about it, as far as free agents, right? When I tell you there's no tight ends available, somebody put in the comment section, I didn't know this. The Titans today assigned 3 tight ends, the undrafted tight ends, to let you know they need tight end help. That's a sign to me, So I can't think of any good free agent tight ends out there.
Now, let me play devil's advocate here. If they didn't prioritize tight end, how are they going to run their offense, right? Because we've been primarily, I'm not going to say primarily, but we've been a tight end heavy team for a long time where we depend on our tight ends to block, specifically in the variable area, and sometimes to catch, but mostly to block. Are we a receiver first team now, right? Because it's crazy, man. It's crazy that I'm thinking like this, but I'm like, are we receiver focus first, then tight ends next? How does Brian Callahan view the tight end position overall? Does he rank it more than the receiver position, or does he rank it more than the tight end position?
That's facts, dude. That's facts, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when I really think about it, I'm like, he came from Cincy where they were lucky to have 3 talented wide receivers, and the tight end was just an extra piece. It's like, okay, it's just an extra piece that I can just kind of plug in right there and say, okay, you're a tight end, do your job, catch the ball when I need you to, block when I need you to. But these are my primary reads. So,
yep, that's right.
And I think with Will Levis, man, that's his focus too. I'm throwing to my receivers first, not my tight ends. That was more of a Mariota, and Tannehill type of thing, right? So we like, again, this a thought. Maybe Bill Callahan can work with Chig and Wiley on their blocking to be more well-rounded. Maybe. Yeah. Our base offense is 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. I can see that. I can see that. I can definitely. I think the wide receiver position is going to be more focal. It's going to be a more focal point. Exactly. Run pass mentality. I mean, it was literally you pass. That was their thing. Pass. And then occasionally run the ball. And then also, I'm gonna say this too, Hawk. We do have 2 running backs that can catch the ball out the backfield.
Yeah.
So again, that gives you 2 extra options right there, or an extra option right there when it comes to passing. So
Thanks. Yep. I was just looking at a list of tight ends that are available right now. You got Logan Thomas. They used to play for the Commanders. Pretty good tight end.
Yeah.
You got Robert Tonyan that lives in Nashville. He lives here, the Green Bay Packer tight end. You got Jimmy Graham, maybe a Hall of Famer one day. I don't know. You got Jimmy Graham out there. So those are ones that you got. Jeff Swaim out there, the pure blocking tight end. Mercedes Lewis, the old tight end. That's really it. So, yeah. So Chig and Josh Wiley going to have to, they have to just, do it right.
You're going to need depth because one of them going to get hurt.
Yep.
I'm just ready to see Will Levis throw bombs to a fast wide receiver. Really going to help so much. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Most definitely.
Agreed. Absolutely. So Jacques, you and I both have given the draft a B. Some folks, some out there said B. I've seen C. I've seen D. I've seen us being ranked 30th in the league in the draft. I've seen it all over the place. There's been some consistency with the Eagles, the Steelers. They have been giving them a grade of A, and I've seen that like everywhere. But the Titans are kind of all over the place. So those in the comment section, does anyone feel that our draft grade should be lower than a B? Or lower than a B. Somebody said the Gold House gave us an A. Okay. I haven't seen anyone give us an A, but I'll take that as far as what you're saying, Chef Maine. I haven't seen that, but just want to throw that question out there. We got 51 people in the chat, by the way. Throw us your questions about the draft or whatever you want to ask us about the Titans, man.
Cadero asks, which rookie wide receiver will have the biggest impact?
The question would be, is Kyler Murray healthy? If he's healthy, it'd be Marvin Harrison, in my opinion. It'd be Marvin Harrison Jr. because he doesn't have competition. It's just him, really, at the receiving core. So that's what I think. What about you, Jacques?
He's talking about the biggest impact in the draft. Which rookie wide receiver? Did you say Calvin Ridley, Hawk?
He said which rookie wide receiver had the biggest impact? Rookie receiver. I said Marvin Harrison.
Oh, you said Marvin Harrison. Okay. It's either between Marvin Harrison or Xavier Worthy, because I'm looking at the quarterbacks who's going to be throwing them the ball.
Yep.
I'm going to go off a limb and say Worthy because he is in a better situation and he's a deep threat. So it wouldn't surprise me if Andy Reid gets him in a position to be successful. Marvin Harrison is going to have to deal with Kyler Murray, right, in that particular division. Yeah, to me, man, I think it's actually Xavier, bro.
Okay.
Because he's in a better situation. Neighbors could, but the problem is he got Daniel Jones throwing to him. That's the only problem.
Yep.
His Neighbors has the potential, but if you got Daniel Jones throwing to you, man, good luck. It's just like Hyatt. Hyatt has all the talent in the world, but you got Daniel freaking Jones throwing to you. So that's for me.
Gotcha. Okay. So we got several people out there say, I'd say a B. Okay. I see several B's out there as far as grade. Not lower than a B. They're grading us on the sweat curve. Agreed.
Yeah, that's what they're grading us on. It's just specifically because we picked up sweat. That, to me, that's an emotional grade. And where's the logic? You're just going off of pure emotion of what he did. Like, come on now. Zach Carpenter says, might be off topic, but has Big Jeff peaked? Ooh, will he ever become the best D tackle in the league? That is a hell of a question.
It's a great question. So, no, I don't think he's peaked. But, Zach, I think it is a great question. I think it's a great question, actually. I can see people thinking that. But I don't think he's peaked. I think the peak, going up to the mountain peak, you got that snow and the ice right before the peak. This is where he's at right now. So, over the next 2 years, he's going to start to peak. I think what's going to help Jeffrey now is the fact that, you now have T'Vondre Sweat, right? You have guys that can, because at times he gets double teamed. And I've seen Jeffrey Simmons, if you all disagree, let me know. I've seen him, especially gets double teamed and he's not winning. He doesn't play as hard. He doesn't. And he kind of takes some plays off. And it could be just tired. It's a long football game. He's a big guy, right? But I think if he can get some freedom, he's the first one that said, thank you for drafting Savant. Why would he be so animated about that? Right? Why would he be? Because he knows now I don't have to get blocked twice. Can he be the best defensive tackle in the league? I don't think so. I think there's other players in the league that are a better D tackle. He can be top 3. I don't know if he could. I know Aaron Donald retired. You still got Chris Jones out there, man. You still got Quinnen Williams out there. You got guys that are some freaking dogs. Chris Jones is unbelievable. Will he ever be better than Chris Jones? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Chris Jones is, in my opinion, I think he's that dude. But what about you, Jacques?
Again, the observation is the same, man. I want to see what he can do under this new coaching staff, this new regime, this new defense. We don't even know this. We don't know the scheme yet. Maybe he's a base 5. I don't know. But let's see how he can excel. And then under new coaching, you learn things under new coaches, right? Hand play, this, that, little tricks. So hopefully they can get in there and fine-tune him and make him consistent. That's the problem. He's not consistent, right? Like you said, he takes plays off from time to time. And just finding that consistent rhythm. You got to get in that rhythm to where he's disruptive. But having T'Vondre Sweat next to him is going to allow him to do. See, the league's not going to be on notice early. They're going to be like, oh, it's just this dude. And once this dude starts making disruptive plays, then you got to figure out, who do I double team? Do I double team him? Do I double team him? So
that's right.
Let's see. Cadero says, do you believe Simmons will be a Pro Bowler this year with the addition of Sweat? It can help. I do.
I think so.
It can help.
Yeah,
it can help. It can help.
Yep. Jeffrey Simmons he's an unbelievable ball player. I mean, dude he's a freaking monster, right? Mm-hmm. And looking at where he was drafted in the first round, he probably over the last 10 years might be the best player at this pick in the last 10 years, right? Where he was picked. So absolutely, he's got the ability. He's got the dog, and I'm happy for him because he has guys around him, young guys now that are going to help out the defense.
Yep. So Danny, our past drafts, I know Hawk, you said this earlier, has been trash, right?
Man,
the hope with the draft is that player is still on your team. At least let's say at least 3 to 4 players are still on your team in that 5-year time frame. John Robinson, the number on his team, and especially from the last draft with the Fairley draft. Was it Isaiah Simmons draft? I mean Wilson draft.
Isaiah Wilson draft.
That set us back years, right? That's what got Vrabel and fired. And then the Caleb Farley draft again. Out of that draft was trash. Like it was hella trash. Like ain't nobody on the team. Nobody's on the team. Nobody's on the team at all. Everybody's gone.
Yep.
Everybody's gone. Now I think someone's still in the league, but everybody's gone. Like Cole McDonald even last via training camp. He was out.
Yep.
Week 3, I think.
Yep.
Darrell Murchison, I still think is in the league. Chris Jackson, I don't know if he's still in the league. Christian just got signed to LA, didn't he? I think so.
Yep.
Isaiah Wilson.
Yep. Isaiah Wilson is the worst. Isaiah Wilson's the worst draft pick, arguably in NFL history. Over the last 10 years, they showed that on Instagram today. They had posted the worst NFL draft pick over the last 10 years. They had all these different players. They had Isaiah Wilson as number 1. Think about it. Your first round pick, you played only 2 plays in your career, and they were on field goal team. And one of those plays, you got a penalty on you. So, he just wasn't a football guy. I'm not knocking him personally. He just wasn't a football dude. And from an organizational standpoint, it's the worst draft pick in NFL history. Then look at this. That's 2020. This is 2021. This is it's not as bad, but it's damn near. I mean, look at that, y'all.
Only 1 player still on? No, 2. Elijah Molden and Dylan.
Yeah, and Caleb Farley.
And Rashad Weaver. Yeah. Okay.
But
so
these guys haven't produced. These guys, the best rookie on here that's played is Elijah Molden. And that's not saying a lot for your entire draft class.
Yeah, half of them been hurt.
Yep.
half of them been hurt. Yeah. Half of them is hurt most majority of the time.
So for those in the media that's trashing Rand Carthon on the draft, look at that. Now I know John Robinson's fired. So they can say, well, he got fired. Okay, you're right. But look at that. Do y'all think Rand did that? Absolutely not. I could draft better than that, man.
Right. Cadero says, out of all the rookies we drafted, which one will potentially get a second contract with us? I can see, man, a couple in this draft. I can see JC for sure. Chavandre, I can see him. Said I could see him. The rest of them, I can see them working up to it, right? But with this draft, again, they all are very fortunate because they don't have to be heroes day one. You just got to come in and do your job, man. JC does because he's the starting left tackle, but he's lucky he had one of the Hall of Fame coaches out there that knows how to coach up. Chavandre gets to learn from Jeffrey. Sid gets to learn from Kenneth Murray. He gets to learn from Kenneth. Brownlee, he gets to learn from 2 great DBs, Abuze and Sneed. I'm like, dude, you got Harold gets to learn from Harold Landry. They're lucky. And your guy, James, he kind of gets to learn from both aspects because I don't look at Molden as really good safeties. I mean, they move Molden to say. That's why I say if we bring in Justin Simmons, he'll really get to learn and do what he do. So, man, that's me. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah, man. Those 3. The other guys is in the air. Those three for sure. There's a lot of pressure on JC Latham.
Yes, it is.
You're the 7th pick of the draft. Mm-hmm. You're expected to be great. Okay, so that's a lot. When you get drafted top 10, you're not expected just to be just a regular player. You're expected to be great. You're expected to be look at the rookies in the linemen as far as where they were drafted. He's the highest draft pick in that class in that group. So he has a lot of pressure to perform. So I think the 3. I think JC, like you said, for sure. Tavondre Sweat, he can, he has to adjust, physically, and we'll see about the linebacker Cedric Gray. We'll see.
Right.
Yep.
Be right. What up, bro? He said, "Can we win 7 games in your opinion?" I'm not gonna give you that answer right now. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until we give me preseason, and I'll tell you. Give me preseason. Hawk is not a big component of on preseason. I look at preseason a little bit different because I just see certain things that come out of preseason, and I'm like, oh no, we gotta watch out for him. So give me about preseason. Come around, ask that question again, be right, and I can give you a solid answer. Right now, we're incomplete in my opinion. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah. We need time. Watch our prediction show. Yeah. We'll tell it all at that point because our schedule is no joke. We have a very hard schedule.
And NFC South.
And then we don't know, we got to see how everybody plays and things like that. It's really hard to know right now. So I don't know.
Titan South, I didn't think about this. Everybody, iron sharpens iron, and Levis is going to have a challenging time with Snead and Awuzie. That's only going to make them better, though. That's only going to make them better. It's going to be, man, that's going to be some battles, man. D-Hop versus Snead, Awuzie versus Calvin Ridley, Latham versus Javondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. It's going to be an exciting time to watch. It's just going to be, and again, it's going to make Will Levis better. So if Will Levis is throwing 4 picks in training camp, I understand why. You're going against the best corner in the league. I mean, what do you do, right? So I wouldn't be concerned, but I'll be concerned. I'll be like, hold on. Okay, now I see who you're throwing against. All right, cool. That'll make you better when you go against mediocre corners. Cool,
that's right,
cool.
Bro.
So it's just exciting, dude. This is really, really exciting.
Yep. Absolutely.
David Lee Latham can learn from Skoronski since they're in the same boat. High draft pick. Yeah. To be a pro, he can come in here and teach them right away how to be a pro.
That's right.
Yeah, that's definitely. Right. Let me see. He said he thinks his ceiling is higher. Yeah, I mean that Joker. He looks like Andre the Giant. When you look at Andre the Giant, he just looks big. That's how JC Latham looks. I'm like, man, he looks massive, man. He's a mammoth of a man, bro. I'm like, Jesus. Right. And he's still young. So that's another thing he's gonna put on that. That baby weight's going. That's with Javondre too. That baby weight gonna be gone in another year or two. Do you remember when Arden Key was going off in training camp, getting sacks after sacks, and they barely did anything during the season?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yep. And that happens. You have receivers. Traylon Burks look like Jerry Rice out there.
He did.
So what I say about like preseason and things like that, like I look more like, okay, just like Tajay Spears. His first drive, it's like, yep, he's good. Like you can just tell, like, okay, that's a difference maker right there, right? But sometimes at camp, you look at Kyle Phillips. He looked like Wes Welk out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys are camp stars. And even when I played college football, it was like that. Like during camp, like, oh, this guy's going to be – we had guys that was out there killing in the regular season. I was like, man, where is he at? Like, so, but there are times you do have preseason stars. You got guys from camp that you never heard of, like the Victor Cruzes of the world, like guys that were undrafted, right? That, out of the blue, they step up. So it's a mixed bag. But, yeah, of course I remember that. Absolutely. Yep. What's up, Toya P? What's happening?
B. Wright says we have a quarterback of every type. We really do. We really do. Like we have all flavors in the quarterbacks. Do you think JC is better fit than Alt? Titans did. Evidently, the Titans. Bill Callahan said that was his favorite player in this year's draft was JC. He coaches. Let me say this. He coaches offensive linemen for a living. He sees something that I don't see. I trust you, bro. I trust your word. In my opinion, like I said, going back and looking at it, JC size alone, you can't beat that. It's like Trent Williams. Trent Williams' size alone is amazing. It's like, Tyron Smith. It's the same thing.
That's right. Let me tell you why, Scooter. Ask me that question in a few weeks because I don't know what type of offense we're running yet.
Yep.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. So we say a better fit. Well, I'm going to a party, but I don't know the dress code yet. Okay. Yep. So what fit am I wearing for the party? I don't know. So it's a good question. It's a great question, by the way. It's a great question. And I want to tell you I want to tell you, JC Latham is the better fit for us based on our team of how we used to be. So I don't know how we are as of today, right? Yeah, last year, JC all day. But we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see.
I agree. I agree 100%. We don't know. Like that's been my main theme for this offseason. We don't know what we're running. We don't know what we're doing.
That's right.
If Scooter has another question, if Traylon doesn't work out next year, do you think we draft a top wide receiver? Yes, because D-Hop will be 31, I think. Calvin is 30. You're going to need to get younger in the receiving room ASAP.
Absolutely.
That's why I wanted a receiver this year. Understand we had other needs. Hopefully we've addressed the offensive line. If so, you get the best wide receiver you can on that board. I got to go back and look at the receivers that's coming out next year.
Right.
But yes, we do.
Yes,
have y'all heard
correct.
about?
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I have heard Callahan is fired up about Trey because he sees the potential. Again, everybody gets a clean slate with this offense. Man, if we had Henry, oh my God. Yep. Oh my God, man. Let me see. What's up with this guaranteeing money to undrafted free agent O-line comes back? That bad, so he'll be honest.
Yep.
That means
a few more questions.
Bill must like something. Will Brian Callahan use Malik and some gadget players, or will he just ride the pine until his contract is? We don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Use every weapon you can. Use every bullet in your gun. We don't know. If you want to see, do it. That's right. Maybe. I don't know his mindset. I don't know. This may be Burke's best year. He has best. Yes.
So Jacques, the question. Oh, I might be. Am I freezing up?
No, you're a little delayed, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. It showed me like this. I was like, oh, am I freezing? So David Lee asked about Cole Spencer, right? I don't know if you. I heard about Cole Spencer today, bro. He's an offensive tackle from plays guard and tackle from Texas Tech. They gave him guaranteed money like he was drafted. That's interesting. He must be a dog or something. That's rare. I gotta do some more research on that. But I did hear about that today. I did.
Me too. Callahan must see something. I don't so. Yep. We will sign T. Higgins and draft a left or right tackle in the first, depending on where Latham ends up. What? Look, Chef, I don't know if you heard me on the last show. We bet not draft no more damn tackles, no more damn guards. No. I'm gonna snap. You gonna see me? I'm done. We got to get at receiver. I'm okay with tackles. That's why we brought Bill in. You want you two to figure this out. You better figure it out.
Yep.
Figure it out. That's why we got JC. JC, do your thing, bro. I believe in you. But no. No, sir. JC 75 says, do y'all think D-Hop will sign another deal with the Titans? It depends. Depends on how this season goes. In my opinion, if he feels like we've progressed and we've done something, I can see him sign another year. If we don't, then I can see him trying to go get a Super Bowl somewhere. Hold on. On God for the next 5 years.
Hey, I just saw the contract. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just saw the contract. I just saw the contract for Spencer, the offensive Cole Spencer. Listen to this. Listen to his contract. And I've heard this over the past few months of free agents getting signed with contracts like this. Mm-hmm. A $10,000 signing bonus. You hear what I said? $10,000 signing bonus. $65,000 of a salary guaranteed. What? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wow. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't, $65,000 a year. That's, wow. $10,000 signing bonus. I got to check that. Man. He's not going to be able to do anything with the players, man. They're going to be eating at Ruth's Chris. He's going to have to go to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I'm saying? He can't do what they do. 65,000. There's players that make that in a quarter. That's interesting. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, there you go. That's what Chef said. Bill liked him. That's this. A lot of these decisions from the offensive line perspective sounds like Rand went to Bill and said, "Hey, Bill, what do you think of him? What do you think of him? Give me your top 10. Give me your top 20. What you think?" Simple. It's simple. And if you trust them, there you go.
Yeah.
We need some.
Toy, I agree. I thought that too. The minimum was 400,000.
They
can't be right. That can't be right. Single A ball players make more than that.
Right.
In baseball.
Right.
It's crazy. Okay. We'll go a few more questions, y'all.
I agree with this, Cordero. I agree 100% with this. They probably have a contingency plan in place in case he does retire. I can definitely see that.
Great question. That's a great question, dude.
Going nose tackle in his second year. Hey, JC, you're right. I mean, again, it's a calculated. They were very calculated in this draft, and I like it. They took their time and did their homework. You can definitely tell. Only takes one contract to get noticed by another team. So hold on. He said this is an undrafted contract. If he makes a team, he'll get the rookie salary. Okay.
That's good point, David.
Yep.
Facts. Thank you, David. Thank you. That is correct. Once they sign the rookie that is correct. Yep. And that's why those players so much at those practice squad players, when they get called up, their paychecks might be like $30,000. Next thing is $300,000, something crazy. Like, oh my gosh, So he's right, David. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you. Yep. So.
Let me see. He's getting the $75,000 to be on the 9, which I mean, that's not big. Hey, make me work harder, motivate me, because if I got to make this,
that's right.
Devonta Sweat would have been a great pick if Cooper DeJean wasn't on the board. DeJean would have been so nice in safety. They were talking about that's funny. They're talking about putting him at DB. I think he's more of a safety. I do. I think he's more of a safety in my opinion, with the potential of being a DB. But they had other. I mean, you had other needs, and they got their guy. I mean, they, like you said, the big dogs, Hawk. They got the big dogs.
Yeah, and I value D tackle over safety, man.
Yeah,
maybe not corner, but safety. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah. Yeah, DeJean is a safety. He's an athlete. Dude is an athlete. You see his basketball tape in high school? Wow. So, all right, folks. Well, we want to say thank you all for joining the show, man. This was fun as always. As Jacques and I always say, man, the draft show, we talk draft, we talk schedule. That's fun for us, man. That's fun because it's wide open. We don't know what the team is going to look like. It's building, man, and it's harvest season, and it's fun to start it off and then finish out where it is, hopefully to a playoff. We'll see. But again, we appreciate everybody tuning in to the show. You all can check us out, follow us. You can check us out on Bleacher Report. We got the link in our description on our YouTube link. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We are out there on those internet streets. Check us out always. We always appreciate the support, y'all.
Yes, sir. They're like a lot of y'all got the notifications, so keep cutting them notification bells on. And when you do, hit the like button, like Cordero said. Appreciate that, bruh.
Appreciate it, Cordero.
Watching the show. Thank you, y'all, for watching the show and participating, man. We love these live chop-ups, man. Get to talk to y'all. Get to talk Titans football, period. Again, we appreciate everything y'all do, because if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't be here. So, hey, again, the draft is over. Let's get to rookie mini camp, I think, will be coming up, and then training camp, and we'll keep talking ball. And again, take us on out, Hope.
Yes, sir, man. Well, we hope you all have a great rest of your week. Let's tighten up, be blessed, and as we always say, and as we always do, Jacques, facts.
No paper.